Taurus, this is your week ahead astrology forecast from Born Without Boundaries over here on Astrology Motivation. Do check out your week ahead tarot card reading over on Born Without Boundaries. Here, this is where we dig down into the astrology. And what we do here is I cover the major planetary aspects and transits and how they impact or what relationship they create to your natal sun. So check out your natal chart and find out what degree of Taurus your natal sun is located on so that you can know who I'm talking to when. All right? Because if your natal sun is located between 0 and 9 degrees Taurus, you are Taurus 1 because your natal sun falls within the first decan or group of 10 degrees of Taurus. If your natal sun falls between 10 and 19 degrees Taurus, you are Taurus 2. And if your natal sun falls between 19 and 29 degrees Taurus, you are Taurus 3. We're going to start really broad with all the major transits and how they impact everyone. And then we're going to whittle it down to exactly how they impact Taurus and then which Tauruses they impact how. Okay? So first and foremost, we do have a major transit. Always check out and follow your ruling dignitary, where it is and what's happening to it. Now, Taurus, your ruling dignitary is Venus, and Venus just so happens to be in the zodiac sign. It's home. It's in Taurus for most of this week. But at the end of this week, and I should say this week covers April 6th through April 12th. Just an FYI, if you didn't see it in the thumbnail and read it in the title, now you know. This covers the planetary aspects and transits that are going to happen between April 6th and April 12th and how they impact Taurus natal suns. Okay. Venus is your ruling dignitary. So it's always important for you to know what's up with her and where she is. Right now, she's at home, which means she's really cozy and comfy. And if you guys have been feeling really settled in and a little bit kind of lack of motivated, but really comfortable and grateful for what you have and happy with yourself, sort of luxuriating in life, this is because Venus is home and she's been home for a couple of weeks, and this is a feeling of contentment here. Plus, she has been conjuncting all your natal suns. So Venus conjunct the natal sun of Taurus is just a feeling of completion, happiness, indulgence, decadence, optimism. And Venus is definitely impacting Taurus 3s this week. She actually entered Taurus 3 at the end of last week. All this week, she's cruising through. She's going to be conjuncting the natal suns of Taurus 3s. So expect that boost of optimism, luxuriating, maybe indulgence, sensuality, romance, looking good, feeling good. It's just sensuality is really how it really comes off. And to some degree, maybe even creativity. But let's get back to what Venus is doing, because what she's doing this week impacts everyone. She is transiting into Gemini. So on April 4th, a day before this week is going to end, Venus is going to transit from Taurus into Gemini, which means she's leaving home and she's going into Gemini, which is a very different energy. For you guys, how will this impact you? Venus in Gemini is friendship oriented. She's sibling oriented. She's more like friendship-based energy. There's a sense of even if you're in a committed relationship, there's a sense of working on your friendship and really just sort of being best buds right now, or just enjoying great conversations. Venus in Gemini is really turned on by great conversation, people who can articulate themselves or express themselves poetically or romantically through speech or through writing. There could be, for you guys, more inspiration to write, right? Or to express yourself eloquently through the written word or the spoken word. This is really going to kind of benefit you guys in a way, in that way. If you're just dating or like date a lot of people, when Venus is in Gemini, she doesn't want to make a commitment. She wants to see what's out there. She wants to talk to and enjoy a lot of people, and not sexually, mentally, just talking. You know, it's more just the concept that turns her on than the reality that she experienced when she was in Taurus. It's not about physical, tangible, sensual connection the way she is in Taurus. Venus in Gemini is about concept and an idea, and that's sort of what will turn her on, and great conversations. It's intellectual stimulation when Venus is in Venus is in Gemini. So that can actually benefit you a lot, especially if you're studying any kind of school, applications, being able to articulate eloquently. All of this could really benefit you in those ways. But if in the ways of if you've gotten really hot and heavy with somebody and now all of a sudden it's like maybe you're not ready to commit, that could put some strain on things. But just talk and be honest and direct and straightforward, and but also use your eloquence when you speak. That will help out a lot. There's another major transit that happened this week, but earlier this week. On April 3rd, Mercury transited from Aries into Taurus. It slows it down. And so if communication has slowed down, or if communication has suddenly become like moving blocks around, like that's sort of Mercury and Taurus, moving blocks around. It has to be established. It has to be quantifiable. Nothing new is going to come. It's all about maintaining what you have, doing things traditionally. Everything's on the up and up. Nothing is conceptual. It's based pragmatically. It's based logically. That's what it is. It's all about pragmatism and utilitarianism when Mercury is in Taurus. So things are going to go slower. Communications will go slower. Maybe more traditional communications like emails or long form handwritten stuff. Those kind of things are probably what is going to be the focus for right now. And then we have a Mercury retrograde coming up on the 21st of this month, which is going to slow things down even more. So honestly, Taurus, there is this sense of now Mercury will conjunct your natal suns here, and it's already starting to happen. Taurus ones, you would have experienced it in the beginning of this week, and basically for the rest of this week. Well, what does that mean? Cleverness, brightness, being able to articulate yourself. This would be a great time for you guys to take tests or give presentations or write something or communicate things. This is a time when your mind is working sharp, working crisp, but it is still, of course, Mercury in Taurus, so it will be working very pragmatically. But that could be a great benefit to you. It could also create a little bit of stubbornness and stuckness in your mind when it comes to maybe trying to conceptualize outside of the box. But in general, it is a conjunction that is very helpful. Very, very helpful. So Taurus ones, you're already experiencing that. Then, of course, we also have the full moon. And the full moon happens on April 5th or 6th, depending on where you are in the world. And the full moon was in Libra, which has to do with partnerships, right? But Libra's full moon is created by the sun in Aries, and Aries is all about your individuality, yourself, your person, your direction in life, your motivation. And then Libra is all about sharing it with somebody else and living life with somebody else, partnering with somebody else. So there's what has to be released is all about partnership, or the toxicity that builds up if you haven't been yourself, or how the partnership might be wearing down the sense of self. And if you're just rubbing each other the wrong way, there's been tensions building up, or there's a sense of I want to be in a partnership, sort of releasing that energy out into the world. That's what's going on and has been happening, and you will definitely feel the effects of it probably from Wednesday, definitely today, and then into Friday. Really sort of that popping of sorts of sort of trying to get back that balance between who we are we in the right partnership, or have we just been tolerating or pretending in order to keep a partnership alive, meanwhile sacrificing individuality, or have we been such an individual that we have avoided partnership and has it isolated us and made us feel lonely? All of those things and all of those all of those subjects are going to be coming up around this full moon. So don't be surprised if you have been experiencing those. Let's get into, let me see what else. The full moon, I will say this, is in a loose square to Pluto. So whatever changes happen with regards to partnership around this full moon, that's it. They don't change back. This is final endings or beginnings that stick, because that's what Pluto is. It's total ending, to make way for something new. So whatever has ended around this full moon, your feelings, your partnerships, you're not going back. They will permanently change. They cannot change back. The butterfly does not go back to be a caterpillar, right? That is the sign of Scorpio. That sense of the caterpillar into the butterfly. The butterfly don't go back. So this is a permanent change. Whatever has happened around this full moon, because it is square to Pluto, it's it. Changes are done. And especially by Thursday, Friday, what's done is done. What will be over is over. And then there will be certainty about that. It'll be cleaned out, and you'll be ready. This is making room to start or begin again, but not with the same person. This will be with something totally new. FYI. So Taurus ones, let's get into what you're experiencing. So you're conjunct Mercury. All this week, you guys will be conjunct Mercury. Mercury is moving between 4 and 11 degrees Taurus. So it will slide into Taurus 2 at the end of this week. But for most of the week, it is conjuncting, Mercury is conjunct your natal sun, which we spoke about. But it's also conjuncting the North Node, which means bright and ambitious ideas and insights. Clarification as to where you are headed and where your future is headed. If you have been foggy, if you have been undecisive, this will be the week you will be able to decide and be confident in those decisions. Feel good about them. So your natal suns are also sextile to Mars, which means there's opportunities with taking action or feeling good about taking action, knowing that you have kind of maybe even in some sense wanting to feel more physical or being more physical and getting more opportunities to do so, or having more energy this week. You are also sextile, your natal suns are also sextile to Saturn, which means opportunities in work, opportunities in leadership, working really well, opportunities with the law or with commitment or contracts, this sense of really being able to solidify something and really make it work and really commit yourself to it in a mature way and stick to it, especially if it is some sort of physical routine. This is a good time to start that. You will, if you initiate it now, you will stick to it. Your natal suns are also square to Pluto, so there is an impetus to change. Right? There is discomfort, maybe something painful or something that you've sat on for a while and tried to hide is motivating you to make this change. You want to make a permanent change. You have been struggling with it. So that could probably lead to some sort of motivation this week. Taurus 2s, like I said, at the very end of this week, by April 11th, Mercury will be conjunct the very earliest of Taurus 2s. Very earliest of Taurus 2s is maybe, May 11th, May 12th, your birthdays, maybe 12th, maybe 13th. You, by the end of this week, will experience Mercury conjunct your natal suns, and that will it will have the effect of like that brightness, right? Articulate, to being able to really express yourself very well. It's a great time to take tests. It's a great time to go before a board and present something. It's a great time to interview. You'll just have that kind of snappy, clever energy to you. Definitely write things down and save your ideas from this time. And then, of course, you have your natal suns conjunct Uranus. And I would say, because Uranus is at 17 degrees, by next week, Mercury is going to conjunct Uranus. And that is going to be huge, and we'll talk about that next week. It's not going to happen this week. Right now, Uranus is conjunct your natal suns, which means you've already been going through change. Some sort of radical change, unexpected change, and even a sense of really being almost stimulated by being surprised and not knowing what's going to come next, being attracted to or finding those aspects of yourself and embracing those aspects of yourself that don't fit in, almost becoming super proud of them. And when Mercury conjuncts that next week, we'll talk about that next week. Stay tuned. Subscribe so that you can definitely know when I upload this content. And then Taurus 3s this week. Your natal suns all week long are conjunct Venus. Like I said, sensuality, maybe into sexuality, really feeling the mood, feeling romantic, feeling luxurious, feeling sensual, and being more attractive. Now, Venus herself is trine to Pluto and sextile to Neptune. And that means that you are definitely having some major magical impact on people, and you will be able to take people by storm this week. You absolutely will. You'll help them transform. You'll make them like almost feel so comfortable to you. They reveal their deep secrets to you. And it's almost like you've transfixed them with this sextile to, because your natal suns are also trine to Pluto and sextile to Neptune. Now, that has been for a while, right? That's been going on. That will stay. Those are long-term transits. That sextile to Pluto, especially if you're born at the very end of Taurus season, so Taurus, Gemini cusp, you guys are especially trine to Pluto, and that's going to stay that way for a year. So there's this sense of really feeling harmonious with your power and really owning it, and have the psychic energy that has these insights that maybe people don't even want you to know, but really getting comfortable with maybe darker things, or the darker aspects of life, darker aspects, embracing the darker aspects of yourself, but especially embracing change, especially dynamic change like beginnings and endings. But with Venus there, this all becomes very sensual. So for this week, expect to sort of have this super sensual, sexual power in you that you can really use to your benefit, as long as you're not too manipulative with it, because when it involves Pluto, you have to be sure that you're not overly manipulative, because it will come back and bite you in the ass. But generally speaking, this is a really good time. We also have a square to Saturn, especially those of you who are born at the very end, or sort of the Taurus Gemini cusp. So watch out for lawbreakers. Watch out for committing yourself to something that you don't want long term. Watch out for tension with superiors or authorities. It doesn't mean you're getting arrested or anything. It just means that you're maybe even having trouble acting mature, or having a control over yourself. So be especially aware, and be especially aware of your power and impact on people this week, because you'll have a power and an impact with that sort of sensuality about you that you're not even aware of and not used to. And that could sort of overpower you and get you into clashes with promising things that you really didn't mean, or having people meet you and they're promised things that they don't really want to get stuck in, but it's just like magic spell, right? Almost like love potion kind of energy. So be aware of that. I love you guys so much, and I hope that you join me over on Born Without Boundaries Tarot for your week ahead tarot card reading. Please go ahead and subscribe to this channel and ring that notification bell, so that then you'll get to join the live chats that I have over here on Mondays and sometimes on Fridays as well, so we can talk about the astrology of the day, or big astrology that's happening globally and historically. So you just let me know. I hope you are able to join in. I'd love to hear your voice, and I hope to see you over in the tarot card reading. I love you guys, and I will see you back here next week. Bye, Taurus.